And we can start.
Hello everybody. You guys may come from the Instagram post or from the internet anywhere. So my name is Arys Aikyn. I just got admitted as Swarthmore class of 2027, and I'm excited to host this webinar today to share my story and just provide useful information to you guys for you to be, achieve the same level of success as I did in the application journey, basically. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory. The first page is my name, yeah, and let's go. Second page. Welcome. I'm glad that you're here. This is my photo. Yeah. I currently study in Bölüm İnnovasyon in Astana, and as a senior, 11th grade, doing pretty well, going to classes and stuff. This photo is kind of bad, but you get what I mean. Just trying to introduce myself right here. Swarthmore College is basically my dream school at the start. I'm not going to lie, Swarthmore College is actually, I was hooked by its logo, first of all. The logo was red and I was like, this college must be something, prestigious or something. I clicked on it and so I did a little bit of research, and it was like liberal arts college, and it's interdisciplinary, like it teaches a bunch of subjects basically, and that's what I was been looking for the whole time, like being able to study multiple subjects at once, basically. Next presentation. So my stats are these. I took the SAT twice. First time I got a 1400. Second time I got a 1540. Separated it, it's English 740 and math 800. That's, yeah, full score basically. And my GPA was 4.7. You could say that it's a pretty average score for, applicants who are applying to the USA, but in my freshman year or sophomore year, I'm not sure, I had a little bit of I had bad grades basically. Probably didn't like to study, but it's a different story now, so that maybe has something to do with it. So it's a 4.7. It's okay, it's fine. You don't have to be a 5, so 4.7 is fine. Next one, IELTS. I got an 8 on it. I took the IELTS, I remember it was in August. No, probably in September, yeah. And it's separated. I got listening on 8, I got reading on 9, speaking is 7.5, and writing was 7. These are my basic stats. These are stats I use applied to Swarthmore College. Okay, next slide. So the reason behind why I applied to the USA, first of all, I just, from freshman year to sophomore, for the past 5 years, I've been watching YouTube. Everybody does, but I just don't watch those. I'm not that good at Russian, and I don't want to watch Kazakh content either. So I watched English content basically, and I got hooked extremely to the US culture. So basically that's why I applied. I wanted to be in the US actually. You could see this logo. YouTube basically made me do this. So now we're gonna start my whole journey. In 2022 April, I basically wandered online and was like, how do I apply to colleges? Because I was actually going to start this process seriously. I wasn't joking or anything. So I started in April, and I realized that maybe, just maybe, I could get into a college with full ride. At that time, it was super insane for me to, actually imagine myself in the USA studying, just basically free. But at that time, it was my biggest dream ever. So starting from April, I just researched, I did my stuff. I went online, I went to a website that I use a lot, probably 2 hours a day, Reddit. And I went on it, and I discovered this subreddit. It's called Applying to Colleges. And I was like, okay, there's just 1 million people talking about applying to college stuff. There gotta be a lot of useful information there. And I basically utilized that, and later I found other communities that also helped me. So I got my information there basically. For this this April to June period, I would just that was the time after like I took my first SAT and it was 1400. So I took the application seriously. I thought 1400 wasn't enough. So I prepared for the SAT once again. So August, if we were to talk about August, this is a time where I started like taking care of the subjective parts of my application. Let's say the essays, the recommendation letters, the like extracurricular activities. These are the time that I actually, took these things seriously, because before I thought US application, it just, having a good SAT score and a good IELTS score, but that's like not that's just like a 20% of the whole application. So at that time, I realized I need to improve on these things. So I started doing that. September, we had college counselor, I approached them. We had consultations. We basically started, revising my college essay. At that time, it wasn't really a good essay, but just if you start do this thing early, you're going to actually improve it so many times. You're going to draft it like 10, 11 times, like your college essay, your supplemental essay, or your like recommendation letter. This is why I'm saying you should start this early. I finished with the test in August. You remember at the last page, I said I was preparing for SAT. I took it in August and I got a 1540. I was glad with that score, so I, applied with it. And during August and October, I started writing my college essay, and was just using whatever resources I had, and in 3 months I was able to have the essay that I was like looking forward to let the admissions officers to read. So yeah, so basically I was done with my essay. Oh, the camera seems to be off. Okay, I think that's a problem, but okay, we got it back. So fine. So this is the end game. So this is a time where I basically sent my application and let the waiting game do its work. So I sent it out at November 15th, and I got my application results at December, basically the near New Year. And Swarthmore was my dream school. I was like super worried if I don't get in, I was going to apply to so many colleges, other than that, but fortunately I got in. What kind of tips I could give is just that you should be done with everything super early. When back in, let's say 2022, right? When it was summer, I thought I had so much time, bro. Like I thought I had like 6 months of time for my college essay. I had like, I was doing so well on everything, but once the whole summer ended, I never had enough, like actually enough time to, improve all aspects, which is something you really need to focus on because everybody's applying and you need to be the better one amongst them. So you should be like, let's just say a realistic schedule in your junior year, let's say junior year, you should be like actually considering which colleges, like building your college list, picking out colleges, actually trying to write the mock SAT, mock IELTS, just start with all that initial stuff, like super early, because you're not going to be well prepared, in the summer, and like once you reach 11th grade, you're going to be so overwhelmed with course load and other stuff, so you won't be able to have time to prepare for the application itself. So if you have a college counselor, like you should definitely like meet with them, be friends with them, develop just interact with them, build a relationship. Basically you need help 100%. I thought I never needed any help. I thought I could do everything by myself. Like recommendation letters, I could write them by myself, or let's say other stuff like extracurriculars, I could just do them by myself. But that's not always the case. Let's say, if you go to school, like half of the extracurricular activities are like related to school, like 50% is related to school. For example, clubs, which is one of the biggest ones. Let's say Olympiads, that's also related to school, right? You don't get any like other resources, that's better than, building your relationships in school and just doing good school in general. Just, find people to work with and, seek help. Like I seek help to my college counselor, Ruslan Begagay. And through Ruslan Begagay, I was able to, have a consultation with Roshan Apai. And in that way, I was able to, actually improve every aspect of myself. Just don't afraid to go and, ask for everything. Just ask for everything. It's okay. Everybody has that period of time. So let's say I prepared for SAT and the IELTS, right? Let's say let's start with IELTS because let's start with SAT because I started preparing for it first. So I basically, let's say, for that initial 1400, I had this book called Erika Meltzer's. Like, if you are familiar with the SAT, you should know that book, Erika Meltzer's, SAT writing guide or SAT math guide. No, they only had reading and writing, I believe. Erika Meltzer's reading and writing guide, basically, SAT reading and writing guide. That is the book that actually made me, understand the concepts of, what's behind these questions in the SAT, because that's what you need to know to be able to ace that test. And although I did get a 1400, but I believe that that initial book that teach me all those stuffs is going to, that is, the basic stuff. That's what you need in order to, understand the whole test. But in August, while I was preparing for the SAT, I thought only Erika Meltzer's is definitely not enough. So I started prepping out another book, which is called College Panda. Basically, they had a math book and the writing book. Both of these were super useful. If you were to prepare for the SAT, you like the math part. I'm not sure about the digital, like writing part, because it's digital now, but College Panda's math book is 100% recommend. It's a must read if you were to take the SAT. During this time also, for preparation purposes, I used Khan Academy, which is I know that the Khan Academy doesn't have that much practices right now because, internationals, we have to take the digital SAT now, but back in when it was, paper-based SAT, it was actually really useful. And even now, I believe the Khan Academy has some, resources for digital SAT that is actually going to help you. So I put it up there. And the second one, the second link is actually a link to all the previous tests that has been, that was the PDFs of previous tests, basically. Let's say there was like 30 plus or 25 plus tests that are official, that is actually, that actually was written in a real exam. Yeah, so these are super valuable. I went through every single one of them. I did mock exams. I did basically utilized every single piece of it. Yeah, and don't worry, I'll copy and paste this stuff in the chat later on. But let me continue with IELTS. IELTS. After August, when I was done with the SAT, I immediately started to prepare for the IELTS. I didn't have much time, let's just say. I believe I registered it 3 weeks or 4 weeks after the SAT was done, and you would probably think that that's not even, people were preparing for IELTS for like 8 months or like 5 months or like 3 months at least, but I only had 3 or 2 weeks. What I was trying to do was I was trying to use that SAT reading knowledge to IELTS. Basically, first of all, I familiarized with the SAT reading, reading stuff, and I used that in IELTS. Basically, that's why I got a reading 9 in IELTS. And during this time, I just during this 2 weeks, 3 week period of time, I used these two websites, IELTS Training Online and IELTS Online Tests. These two websites, basically, they have free tests for just a lot of tests. Unlike SAT, IELTS, you just they have a lot of tests, like Cambridge test. You have other British Council test, and it's better to take a British Council test, by the way. It's a quick tip. And I just took a bunch of them every day for 2 weeks probably. I took for example, 5 of them or 6 of them a day, I didn't waste any time because I know the time was like really valuable for that time, like for me at that time. And I basically spent all my time doing practice tests and getting myself like familiarized with the test format, and it's fine. But um for the speaking and, let's say, speaking part, that like the subjective part, the speaking and the writing part, which actually you have to output something instead of inputting, like reading or listening, which you could done by yourself. For speaking, I basically went on YouTube and I found these like dialogue videos, and like they like promoted as IELTS 9 speaking. And the like the officer, the examiner, would ask the questions first, then I'll pause the video, I'll start talking, with my answer. After I'm done with my answer, I'm going to continue it and listen to what the guy in the video was answering and compare my answer to that guy's answer, and trying to get better and understand what is lacking, what kind of parts am I not doing good, and how we could improve. And I write it down in the notes, and I would just like look at it every day and prepare for it. It's generic preparation basically. And writing, let's say writing, all you have to, for part 1, the like small essay, all you have to do is repetition. I think that is the easiest one because you only have to do like you just write essays every day, basically, part 1. But part 2, you need like an actual person to look over your essay and stuff. I didn't really have one. I just did the same thing with part 1, which is repetition every day. But if you were to have the opportunity to find someone to like look over your essay and just say this part is wrong, like this argument doesn't make sense, and that this example and this grammar doesn't work, that would be so good. Like you need somebody to actually look over your essay and judge you. Basically, you cannot be your judge. You cannot judge yourself that good, like that correctly. But yeah, this is the test resources. Now, I'm sure that most of you, let's say, most of you are familiar with college application, like in the slightest sense. So you guys must know college essays, right? Personal statements, basically the long piece of text which you send to colleges, and they review it and basically share your story and show them your strengths, your qualities, your personality, and whether or not you're going to be like fit in with that college or not. So personal statements, I have this one crucial thing about college essays, which is essence objects. This is not something original. I got this from college essay guys, basically, but this was so important that I would like more people to know about it. So basically, essence objects are these like things, like they could be tangible, they could be intangible. It's like air or like drawing or NFT or something. I don't know, just things. For example, I got this clock right here. This could be my essential object because this meant something to me, right? That this represents a memory and a piece of just piece of story in my head. And this is probably different to me. Like this means different to me than to you, right? For you, this might be just a regular clock, but for me, this might carry some story that is actually, heartwarming, or something that is worth to write it as a college essay to. So it's important to me, but it's not you. So it's an object to me. If you were to get it, like something that carries a meaning, basically, essence objects. And let's show you guys a few examples. First example is toothpaste. We all use toothpaste every day. We wash our teeth, and we use toothpaste every day. But this might for me, toothpaste doesn't really mean much. But according, like, look at this example here, where it's like the toothpaste is actually meant something. Like it represents a memory of this like author that is really important for like it's a really sad story, and Two Fate basically, represents this story. Let's say that. At 6 years old, I stood locked away in the restroom, held tightly to a tube of toothpaste because I sent to brush my teeth to distract me from I can't read the word, sorry, from the commotion. Regardless, I knew what was happening. My dad was being put under arrest for domestic abuse. He would hurt my mom physically and mentally, and my brother Jose and I had shared the mental strain. It's what had to be done. And you might think that toothpaste here, like it's just a random object thrown in there. You could probably say like held tightly to a tube of, you know, face cream or whatever, like anything. But to this author, it meant different. Toothpaste was actually a part of the story, and it is worth writing. That is something, the admissions officer actually want to know what regular everyday objects to them could meant something different to an individual that is writing this story, basically. Yeah, toothpaste, pretty cool. I'm going to show my, you might consider toothpaste as an unimportant object, but this author made it her identity. It's really important for her, but it's not important for us. My example is right here. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these type of trees. I don't know what these are. These are, English is called quakering aspens, written on a biology book, but it's like basically woods. I never knew its name, but I remember these kind of trees. And like when I was younger, these trees, it's kind of funny to talk about it, but these trees are basically my nightmares. When I was like going to school and I would see these trees, and they have this special, like this pattern on them that is like an eye. If you see on this like photo right here, like it's actually, there's some these like patterns that is like looking like a human eye, basically. And I was super afraid of these. I'm not going to lie, I was making imaginary objects in my head and trying to make them scared, make them scary, basically. But when I was trying to like brainstorm for my college essay, I was like, maybe I should just take something that I, really, had the biggest memory in my head, and something that was really like hit me, basically. I remember when I was younger, I had this fear, and I basically wrote about it in my, personal essay, like the one that I sent to Swarthmore. And I'd like to read it for you. Walking on the side road ledges with my classmates, 9 years old at the time, I suddenly halted as I looked at the tree. It had textured patterns that looked like eyes. These were the scars left behind when extended branches fell off from insufficient sunlight. For someone always interested in horror and scary scenes, I immediately started talking in a mystifying tone. My friends were petrified as they listened to my made-up story. Through my imagination, I created this tree monster that monitored people and devoured them when they were alone. So this is basically started my college essay. You might think that like these are trees, like these doesn't mean anything to you, but it actually meant a lot for me because it's a representative of my childhood. And this is the thing that basically, let's say, had its place in my heart or brain, if you were to say that. And just the whole tree thing was, I don't know, it just struck me. I don't know. It was, I don't know, it's like a big idea, like the light bulb above my head. And I was like, this is probably good. Like, what about I write this? I don't care. Maybe this is going to be good. And I wrote it and it was fantastic, basically. So this is basically example of how you could use your own thing and make it special. Not like people always say that you have to cure cancer or like do something like, let's say, donate a building or, like do all those incredible stuff in order to write a college essay. But you can make your own stuff, like own like ordinary thing and make it special. Just you use something in your life that is might be like nothing, like meant nothing to others, but it meant super important for yourself. You could like use that, explain that, like that is you, that is like 100% you, and it is authentic, and nobody else could have written this piece of writing except you. So actually don't remember this. Yeah, this created a sense of uniqueness for my essay, like recognition of the tree. Basically, others thought it was just a tree, but I thought it was as a monster, and it was terrifying, and it made my essay different. You have to basically made it like unique and authentic. Let's see. Okay, this is I'll also like to share the start of my supplemental essay. I had this prompt was basically community based. For example, you have to write about your community and how it helped you, during your academic journey or any journey. And I basically wrote about my school and the uniqueness about it and how these uniqueness made such a close-knit community, and how it basically made me a better person, and how I was able to contribute to it in a positive manner, and just grow with this community. Like, let me read it. I belong to a community of billionaires. This is a word. I didn't make this word up. There's actually a group called billionaires, and they were basically graduates from my school that is doing works for our school right now. And I use this, like, how do you call this, like a combo? No, annotation. Yeah, probably called annotation. And it's basically combined the word billionaire has BIL in it, which is my school's name. That is really funny. So I thought this could be a good idea. So I used it. Billionaires, and for the past 5 years, Bilim Innovation Lyceum has been my second home. We spent countless hours on activities with our educators that strengthened not only the bond between us, but also shaped our unique identities. Etude, Toast, and Çalışma, these names etched in my head represent both fun and discipline. The handshakes between students finishes with a heart, which we are fond of doing daily. It's a ritual that I will never forget. You see all these like words like etude, toast, çalışma, ritual, finish with the heart. These are all so different. Let's say, compared to a regular public school, we had all these different activities going on that is so unique, and it was fun to describe them. It was actually proving to the admission officer that you were a real human and you like represent your school in a positive manner, and it's so unique, and they will think that it's super authentic, basically. Let me continue reading. However, what made it special is not merely the love between the pupils and the educators, but also the amount of freedom it offers. So I started off introducing my school, but second paragraph, I was going to, turn the subject and, just go into a different field. I was just trying to talk about how it offered me this freedom that I never had, but also the freedom it offers to me. School used to be the root of evil, with tedious homeworks and restricted thinking. This is not a case in Bill. See how I like bolded this BIL, because it was and I was trying to make the admissions officer know what I was mentioning by billionaires. Basically, you have to treat admissions officer. You never want to like show off as someone that is like showing off. Like, you should actually make sure that it's super understandable and concise, and just do good with your college essay. Last part, each student is different, and the school gives us equal opportunities to represent ourselves. As an immigrant with multiple identities, it is like a sofa representing comfort and acceptance. Yeah, this is basically what like the school gave me as a positive impact. Like, I was an immigrant, and the school was able to help me have a taste of this freedom that I never had. And it made such a difference in my life. And I wrote about it, and, it was a good topic to write about. Obviously, I got in. And you could also just use these like community. Let's say you have a volunteering community, and you could say that I never volunteered before. This really brought like it really helped me. It helped me to learn how to collaborate. It helped me to know more friends. It taught me how to socialize. Basically, if you were to write community essay, you have to write about the uniqueness of that community and how it contributed like to your success and how you contributed to its success. I think I cropped out the later part because I was okay. I didn't. Okay, I did because okay. I'm basically gonna explain what I wrote, and later in this essay, I basically wrote about how I helped how I helped our schools through all kinds of various activities such as you know doing these like food. I make food from my hometown so that I could show them, and people were making food from their hometown so that they could show them. I'm basically making, doing Olympiads, doing contests, doing, organizing stuff and actually helping the community. And that is one way that like you're showing that you're not just bragging about your community, you actually helped it to become something that's even greater than itself. So we're done with essays. Let's talk about extracurricular activities. This probably, extracurricular activities, let's say these are like 25% of your whole college application. Because if you were to like let's say you have emo like international Olympiads gold, in any subject, it's gonna give you a massive boost. But for example, I didn't have that like good of an Olympiad knowledge, so I didn't get that much medals. But um, it's like it's boosts your profile and boosts your application super well. Extracurricular activities are super important. Um, how you could make this, make your like boring activities actually sound good, you actually have to utilize the characters and the character limits on Common App. Like I remember it was like 50 characters for the activity itself and 150 characters for the description. You have to basically use that character count and just use it well. Yeah, it gives admissions officer like what you want to pursue. Like they want to, for example, you applied as a computer science major, so you may like must, it's not a must yet, but it actually like it helps that, like for example, you've done a bunch of activities related to computer science, like Olympiads, informatics Olympiads, like projects, like let's say you organized hackathons or macathons, and that actually super like helps it super well. And second, and how you pursue it, like they, for example, or if are you just a like a informatics Olympiad student, or are you like an informatic Olympiads team leader? Like they'll show that you spent so much time in this, and they'll see the impressiveness, and they'll like original, and it was like basically show yourself out off with these extracurricular activities. um and also, not only being like they care about how big of an achievement you receive. For example, if you were to only be an informatics Olympiad student and you did nothing, that would be kind of bad because you were just, it's not proven, and you need some kind of impact, such as you get a medal, or like you organize events, you help students, or there- you don't have actual, you don't need actual proof for it, but like you only need something that's been done, like have an impact to like write about. You need to utilize these 50 words and 150 characters. Let's say the first one, if you could see my cursor, yeah. Let's say activity first, volunteering wireless. It's 19 characters. That's not even 50 characters. First of all, it's not using it well. It's boring. It's some, just basic description that anybody could write. And the description, play for nursing home residents. 33 characters. It's like not even 100 were like 50 characters, and it doesn't even explain what you did, why you did it, the impact you had, and how important it was for you. The second, like this is like a refined version, volunteer musician at nursing home and hospital. This is like a good activity. It's like character, like text basically. You describe where you did this stuff and how, like what kind of role you played. Like you're a volunteer musician at a nursing home and a hospital. Like that is super like informative. Yeah, super informative for the admissions officers to see that, and they will like compare it to other people. Look at the description: monthly programs at nursing home for 50 residents. 50, that's a number. Organize seasonal recitals and learn old favorites. Strolling musician and children's hospital. This is like super good because first of all, it's like introducing the numbers. 50 residents. That is impressive. Like 50 residents is a lot. And she also like had these extra activities and other impacts she had and what she did with it. You have to give so much to the activities description and the activities itself, like how you write it. You could make like, for example, you got emo gold. Let's say you got emo gold, but you write it just like math Olympiad student, and I got emo gold. That like that basically ruins everything. Like your emo gold isn't as impressive as a regular award. You have to describe how impressive it was and how much you suffered and what did you do, like why you do it, everything. You have to explain everything. I also don't want to see some like boring stuff, basically. Here I had my own activities list basically. First, I played basketball. I was team, like sometimes captain, sometimes player. I played for our team, school team, Bil Karandarı. And I coached novices. I helped them. I persuaded headmasters for team engagement. That is really cool. Consolidated team chemistry, partnered with sponsor. Yeah, we had a sponsor. Awarded regional and national awards. This is super good because although I didn't have any like specific numbers, but these are the like impacts that I actually had on the team and on the extracurricular itself. See, I had these few tips like be concise with the numbers. Like you have to be in the first like description, first activities, I said it was plus 30 members. Is it plus 30? Yeah, plus 20 members. So you have to be concise with the numbers. You can't be like, we had a captain, we had a sub-captain, we had a 5-player or whatever. You don't have to do that. You only like show the amount of people you had, and that's good enough. And also like, look at this. I used coach, persuaded, consolidated, partnered, awarded. These are all verbs. Yeah, verbs are good, like a great, you need to use them too. Like it's strong, it gives a good impression to the admissions officer, and it could, just active compared to nouns. Like verbs are like you actually did them, except you like described it. Basically, you need verbs to make it, seems like it's had a lot of impact, basically. Like computer technology, I wrote about how I, was an Olympiad member, and the gist is basically just use all the space possible, like 50 characters, 150 characters, fill them up. Every single one of them must be like super important for you. Like all of these, I, use all characters as much as I can in every single one of them. In the third one, if you see like English Olympiad computer, I was good at English, so I had that. There's this one tip while you're using verbs. If you were like still doing this, for example, if you volunteer, and you shouldn't say like for example, you wouldn't write in the description, I volunteered in the past tense, like I volunteered. If you were to still do like volunteering now, you should say like I volunteered instead of I volunteered, because you're still doing that. So that's basically a quick tip to show that like accurate information, and admissions officer would like, oh, he's still doing that thing. Pretty cool. Maybe we should let him in. Like, yeah. And for fun, I want to point out that it's basically the same thing compared to also an example for that. Like I coach, I assess, I organize, and I host. That is all present tense, and that is a good way to show that you're still doing these things. So the last tip I want to show you guys is that you could actually use here, if you see on the description of the last activity, you can see that on the last sentence I wrote, see additional info for awards. So if you guys didn't know, in Common App there is a section for you to fill out additional information for your extracurricular activities. In them you could write about like things that you never had, didn't fit into the like 150 characters cap. For example, you had like multiple awards and you cannot write them all in the one description, so you could use that basically. that is like super cool to use. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So this is the part of Q&A. I'm going to answer some questions. I hope everybody is still watching. If 100 people, that's pretty cool. Roshan Apai, is it possible
Yeah,
for me?
sure. Do you want
Yeah, I want maybe people
to
could raise their hands and
unmute?
stuff, or
And they can unmute, right?
yeah.
Okay, let's see. Allow participants to unmute. And I muted you again, so you have to unmute yourself.
All right.
You have to.
So you have to unmute yourself first.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Okay, so anybody has a question? I cannot see anybody who has it. Wait.
So my apologies.
Oh, okay. Jamilia. Okay. What's your question?
Hello. My question is, what is your major?
My major is computer science currently.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, Mubarak. Let's hear your question.
So basically, I have a couple of questions. First, after you graduate, will you go straight to your dream school? Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to be subconscious for some time.
I don't think I would like take a gap year for no reason. Yeah. Yes, please.
My name is Mira. Hello.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. S is for the surname, but anyways, I would like to ask, what kind of tips would you give for the rising seniors for the summer? Did you do any summer schools? Just
For seniors, summer schools, I don't think I did any of them. I never was aware of the opportunities that much for for example, like young global scholars, like summer schools. Those probably I 100% recommend you to actually go and do them, because it's gonna be a good activity. So I recommend them, but I personally never did them, and I attended Education USA's summer club, and probably that's it. Yeah.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, next one. This is Elvira. Okay, what's your question?
Thank you for this presentation. My connection is bad. Maybe I skipped that information, but I'm wondering what amount of scholarship did you get? It is partial or full scholarship?
I basically received a full scholarship. It's like 99.9%. I was going to pay $100 for it. It's they awarded me $78,000. That is the amount of dollars you need to study there for 1 year. So I got that amount of scholarship in 1 year. Yeah, full basically.
So it is a renewable scholarship, yeah? It will be awarded every year.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have to renew it, but my family circumstances wouldn't change in 4 years, so I don't think it will be, it's gonna be full for a year. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Next one, Eleonora. Salim.
Hello, thank you. I also got I actually got two questions.
Okay.
So the first question is, you've got a full scholarship, which covers 99.9%.
Yeah.
But was it partially merit-based and also
it was
need-based? Need-based.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They will need blind.
Thank you. Sorry?
Swarthmore College is need blind for internationals if you were to gotten. Yeah.
I actually forgot what need blind means.
Yeah, need blind is basically they don't care about your financial need when you're applying to colleges. Basically, they don't care how much money you need when you get into their colleges. They don't consider financial aspects. Basically.
Okay, but your scholarship is need based.
It is need based, but here's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it depends on your achievements and profile. Yeah, thank you. And the other question, so did you have like straight A's in high school?
As I mentioned before, in freshman and sophomore year, I was a bit, a bit lazy. So I had like a few B's, like in like literature, English literature, or Kazakh language, and all those stuff. But so I wasn't a straight A. So I had the blue diploma, blue attestation, and I think it's fine eventually. Like they recognize that it is impressive to get fives constantly in your like junior and senior year. They actually recognize that. It shows like an improving pattern from your freshman year to senior year. That is really impressive. So I think it's fun.
Okay, thank you. Because I didn't have like I've never had straight A's, and I'm worried about that.
You shouldn't, and you shouldn't think about the past. Actually, you should just focus on the present and try to get good grades now, so that they'll impress the admissions officers.
Okay, but I finished my school last year.
Yeah, I mean, so you don't. There's nothing you can change about it, so you don't have to worry about it. Like, there's no point in worrying. So yeah,
Yeah, right. Yeah, thank you so much.
yeah, you're welcome. Okay,
Yeah.
that's next one. Okay, Adil Sidazmov, Salim.
Salim, what points did you score in the beginning, like IELTS and SAT? And what was your plan for the week to prepare for them?
For SAT, for IELTS, I only took it once. I got an 8. I prepared for I prepared it in 1 month, right after. Yeah, I prepared it for 1 month. I was constantly doing practice tests. I was using the best power that I can to improve every aspect, like listening, reading, writing, and speaking. I was doing every practice test, talking to people, writing on my laptop every day. Yeah, just basically preparing for it in a general sense. And for the SAT, I took it twice. First time I got a 1400, and second time I got a 1540. I remember, yeah, 1540. And first time I prepared it for a month. Second time I also prepared it for a month. In that time, I just used a bunch of materials on the internet, like those free online tests, like Khan Academy, like let's say just tests like QASs, like the tests that they previously used online in the actual exams, and I used them to prepare. I did mock exams. I just basically grinded every day. If that's simple to understand. Yeah.
Do you have a plan like in the Monday I will do reading, listening, and in the Tuesday writing? Okay.
Yeah. I had a plan. When I was preparing for IELTS, I had such a short period of time. I have to cram everything into 1 day. So it's like I have to do like 4 full tests in 1 day, 4 or 5 tests in 1 day, including listening, writing, reading, and speaking. I have to do 4 full tests. That's like a goal for each day. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Nurali Baktikulu. Salam.
Assalamu alaikum. Thanks a lot for your presentation, and I was really interested in what colleges did you apply as well. Can you please tell?
As well, because I applied Swarthmore as an ED applicant. ED, you only can choose 1 school. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, I see. And another question about Swarthmore. What actually interested you in applying at that college?
I previously I said it was because of the logo. Initially, I thought the logo looked nice. It was red. It was like a building. I thought it looked cool, and I started researching on it. And it was eventually a good school, so I applied to it.
Oh, I see. Thank you very much. Okay.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so next one, Devlet Kaparov. Salim.
Salim, according to your extracurricular activities, you have done a lot of different things, and my question is, should these things, I mean extracurricular activities, be connected to each other, or it's okay to be kind of well-rounded student?
To be honest, you could do anything. Like people always says that you could do anything as extracurriculars. Like that is actually a fact. because Swarthmore College is a liberal arts college, it's an interdisciplinary like college, like they teach all these subjects. So it's actually good for me to like have all these different like unique extracurriculars to show them that I'm a like I explore all these subjects. So I was actually trying to do that, like have a bunch of extracurriculars that are different to each other. It was, you know, good for me, but I'm not sure for others. Let's say you're applying to Cornell or like something that is specialized, for example, computer science, except specialized, you might have to like have a bunch of different extracurriculars related to computer science in that manner. Yeah.
But you have to like demonstrate, show your passion. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay,
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Okay. Жанар Тайганбаева, сәлем.
So, hi, I was wondering, did you conduct any research projects connected to your major?
Yeah, I did. In the extracurriculars that is shown in the presentation, I didn't show all of it because I wasn't able to crop all of it and it wouldn't fit. So I had this research where it's about computers. I basically coded a website to, you know, I had these two big extracurriculars. One is English and second is computer science, basically. I combined them. I used computer science to code a website to conduct the research on how English should be learned online. Basically, I coded the website to be like a tutorial English thing. And I showed the website to a bunch of students and I gathered their responses. I made a paper, basically did a research, collaborated with a few of my teachers. Yeah, that's basically the research that I did.
Okay, thank you for your answer.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, Diana Birmanova, Salem.
Hi, I have a couple of questions. They are both related to your personal statement. First, sounds like, how'd you come up with the idea to your personal statement? Like, I understand that you went to College Essay Guy website and like read all this essence thing, but like, how'd you come up with the idea of the tree after? Did you just pass by the tree and remember the story, or how?
So I didn't show the full of it. The full essay was basically about how I contributed back to my community. It was about like, I had, somebody's, sorry for that. How I contributed back to my community and, sorry, what I was about to say. Oh, sorry, what was the question? I was distracted, sorry.
How did you come up with the topic of your essay, the tree?
Yeah. Topic of my essay. So this is a real story that has happened to me. Like people would like people would say like make a fake story. You could like be impressive to colleges, but I don't actually recommend doing that because there's a lot of details that you need to include to make it look like authentic, like it's yourself, and you have to like actually, you know, write something about yourself because it's a personal statement. Yeah. And the initial tree thing, I was just in summer one day, I was like thinking 4 days. I would just basically sit in front of my laptop. I was like 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours.
So you were like brainstorming.
Yeah.
Okay, and the second question would be, you were actually starting to answer to it. I was meaning to ask, was the central idea of your essay, and how do you develop it till the end?
My college essay was is a format in a montage. It's like a story basically. I had it like from start to end. It was like a timeline. I forgot how. There's one type of essay called montage, and the other type I forgot what it's called. So basically, it's that type of essay.
Narrative.
Yeah, narrative. Oh my god, narrative essay. I developed the story in the start. I talked about this eye and how it's like a monitoring eye and how it's a bad thing. And I basically talked about how I battled with this bad thing using my computer science knowledge and all the other things that I learned from my academic journey, and basically just talked about how I contributed back to my community in that manner. Like I just showed how my vulnerability, like how I was affected, and I say how I overcame it, and eventually it meant like something really, it had a place in my memory, basically. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. This was very helpful.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, so the next person, Yasmin Ikramimova. Okay, hi.
Hi, so my question is, what would you advise to do for ninth graders in the summer? Because I'm thinking maybe preparing for SAT and IELTS, but maybe it's too early.
If you were to be a ninth grader, I actually recommend just doing extracurricular activities and start, just join summer schools, and at this stage you could do pre-SAT or like pre-IELTS, but I don't think pre-SAT is good, like accessible for us for internationals. So just do good in school, get good grades, do extracurricular activities like Olympiads, like volunteering, like just basically do extracurriculars that will rack up. Because if you say like you did it start from 9th grade to 11th grade, that's 3 years. Like 3 years you've been doing the same thing. That really shows dedication. So do extracurriculars, prepare for, like, study for English, and just do everything that helps you, basically.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, next one, Asil Zid Kader Salim. Asil.
Hi. So my question is, what type of extracurricular activities you did in your BIL school? I just also study in BIL, so just wondering what type of activities you did in your school.
Okay. I basically did debate club. I had Olympiads, English Olympiad and informatics Olympiads. I did like research was based on my school. I had basketball club, varsity, but it's also a school team. So everything is related to my school, like the big extracurriculars. So you really have to, like, there's this one advice I would give you if you were to like have this opportunity, like any opportunity, like in front of you. For example, let's say a new club is joining, like it's grouping. You could be the leader, you could be the sub leader, you could be the member. Just join it immediately. Even if it doesn't work out at the end, you could like just experiment with it. Just join every single thing that you could find.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Mustafa Piriyev. Salim.
I have only one question. So, what was your most helpful site to prepare for IELTS?
The website that I mentioned. Wait, I think I could. Sorry, I think the IELTS online test. I don't know if you have heard of it. It's a website, like has a bunch of free tests, and I did a lot of tests on it. And IELTS free training online or something like that. Like, you have everything on the internet, like the free IELTS test, or even if it's PDF, you could do it. Like, you don't have to have like those fancy resources where like where it's like you need to know this so that you get IELTS 9. You need to join this course. You could study everything on your own, basically, using the free resources online that I just mentioned previously in the presentation, which I will like send it in the chat later on. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Aray Kamalieva, Salim.
Hello, can I ask whether the financial aid from Swarthmore is generous in terms of, does it provide fees for books, or does it cover travel expenses, or like pocket money? Because I know that USA has been much pretty expensive country, so like I'm interested in like life costs there.
Good question. So actually they sent me my financial aid decision letter and everything is covered. Anything that you mentioned, like medical expenses, insurances, pocket money. At Swarthmore, you don't actually have to, pay for anything because it's a cash-free campus. You don't have to pay money to use the printers. Like you do your laundries free. Everything is free basically, and the dining fees, like they're also covered by the financial aid. So basically everything. And traveling expenses, you could actually request free plane tickets from the college itself. if you don't have money for that. So yeah, there's that. Everything is covered.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Jadra Salam.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. It was really useful. So my question is, how did you prepare for SAT test? Can you please give us some tips to pass successfully, like in your case?
So SAT, first of all, like understand the test format. Like you have to understand what the test is and what kind of question it will have on the test itself. Like math, you have to understand all the, different fields of knowledge. Like basically math, we had like, oh my God, I'm so bad at this. Slopes, basically, you have to understand all of slopes on your book or online resources. You have to understand what slopes are and just get the basic stuff first. Like for English as well, you understand how the questions are formatted and how you could answer them by, what I mentioned, like use the books like Erica Meltzer or like College Panda. You get down to the basics first. And after that, you start the repetition, like using Khan Academy. Hopefully Khan Academy doesn't have that much practice test right now, but you use the previous ones. Online, there are a lot of free tests. College Board actually offers like 9 or 8 like free, like test PDFs, and you could also use that. And just, first of all, basics, second, repetition, and third, don't be nervous on the exam, and you're golden.
And how much time did it take you to prepare? Like, is it late for sophomores to prepare for it?
Actually, no. At the end of senior year is 2022. So last year, April, I started preparing for SAT. I prepared for 1 month. I got 1400. And after that, next 2 months, I was busy with other things. And in August, I prepared for another month, and I took the SAT once again, and I got a 1540. So that's basically how.
Okay, so my last question is, in which condition it's necessary to be passed in SAT in American colleges?
Yeah, so let's say you're considering the possibility of test optional, and I wouldn't recommend it at all, because if you were to go test optional doesn't mean test blind, and test optional is basically having an option to not use the SAT score, but you have to have something else on your application. For example, you have very good extracurricular activities, or you have like very good essay, you have very good grade of GPA, or you have to have something to like fill the hole of the SAT, basically.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for the questions. Ayolum Tursun, Salam.
Hi. So my question is, so where did you apply except Swarthmore?
Oh yeah. Question. I applied it as early decisions, so I only applied to Swarthmore. Yeah, that's it. I also applied to UBC, but that's another topic. UBC was like so previous. It was like in October. Yeah, like maximum 2 schools. I only applied to 2 of them.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, welcome. Darkhan Karakulov, Salim. Darkhan.
Hello. The question is, have you interned at universities or companies? Internships.
Oh yeah, I had a few internships in like it's not like internship, but it's like an internship. Like it's like something in the edge of internship and a practice. Like I went to I had this one like a startup company that was trying to do security camera tests like on the street of Kazakhstan, and they had these internship positions. I was luckily like I had this like meeting with them. I was like, could I be the intern? Could I like do something for you guys? And they accepted me, and I wrote it down as in my additional info like section. Yeah.
it was during the summer holiday, or did you take the gap year?
No, I didn't take a gap year. It was during the summer holiday. Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. Thank you for the questions. Next one, Salim. Salim.
Hello. I had two questions. First, why did you choose computer science as your major?
In ninth grade or eighth grade, if I remember correctly, I didn't have that much stuff to do. I was too bored of studying English constantly, so I started studying computer science. I don't know, it just intrigued me, and ever since I was like, okay, this is pretty fun. Okay, I'm fine with coding, sitting down like 3 hours on the computer, so that's my major.
Okay. And my second question is, why did you choose liberal arts college?
Yeah. So first of all, I really didn't like university with like a lot of people, like 1,000 people each year. Like freshman year, they have like 1,000 people. I really didn't like that. Like being in a large room with all these different people studying something that, you know, the professor doesn't really care about you. You kind of, you know, communicate with them. One of the biggest benefactors of liberal arts education is basically that the classes are so small, like it's like 30 or like 40 or 20, 10. They're so small. You can interact with your professors. Like you have such an intimate relationship with them. They'll be able to like recommend you, write you super good recommendation like letters for your graduate school probably. And you know, just I like that intimate relationship between the pupils, just like I did in Blumenowitz LET. We had 400 students, and I love that. So I wanted to continue it in college. That's why I picked it.
Thank you so much. Congrats.
Okay, thank you. Albisa Asit Kızı Salim. Albina, sorry.
Salam. Well, I wanted to ask if you took some AP courses or classes.
Okay, I didn't take any AP courses, unfortunately. In 10th grade, I was going to take it, but in Blumenowitz LET at the time, AP test wasn't a commodity yet, and you have to pay for it not for the exam and the classes as well. So I didn't really have the money, so I didn't take them.
Well, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you. Cholpon Murzaparova. I hope they're pronounced that way, right?
Okay, hi. Actually, I have two questions. First of all, how are you thinking? Are there any disadvantages of taking a gap year?
To be honest, I don't think there's any disadvantages. I mean, if you don't care about your age, like gap years are actually super fine with, like, you have so much time to refine your application that I don't think, you know, the time of senior year, like after junior year, you have your summer vacation. I believe that amount of time is enough. But if you were like started applying to colleges in senior years, then it's gonna be like a lot of struggle. I actually recommend doing a gap year because that's gonna give you much time and a lot of stuff to think about yourself actually.
Okay. And my second question is, how are you thinking if we will write like in our essay words like canteen and çalışma and toast, will the department of the university will understand us?
Like you will have to explain it probably, but you know, that is one thing that if they don't understand it, like they will bring their curiosity and they want to know more about you. So it's actually fine to write them. It's okay. You have to explain it in the later sense, but you know, it's okay.
Okay, thank you for your response.
You're welcome. Jamila Dosayeva, Salim.
Hi. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So you have highlighted that you prepared for SAT in 2 months, which is like super impressive. So I was wondering, did you have like a very good prior knowledge beforehand? Yeah.
Let's say when I started preparing for the SAT first time, my IELTS level, I would say was like a 7 or like a 7.5. 7.5, yeah. Previous knowledge I was always kind of like good in English. I was able to talk fluently. I was able to like watch YouTube videos effortlessly, and I was able to talk in English, just do everything in English, in a common sense. And I think that really helped me. I had some previous knowledge, but I don't think that you need to be afraid of like saying that I don't have previous knowledge. What should I do? Just go out there and start studying. I think you make it eventually.
Also, a second question. I've noticed that you have participated in various debates, so I wonder, have you participated in the national level of debates or something like that, or was it only like the school level?
I attended school levels. I attended. I remember. I don't think it's national. It's more like a regional. I didn't attend like big events like national, like people were debating in a super high level. But I basically show my passion by going to regional. I had some like honorable mention or something. I don't remember. You don't have to like, as I said like previously, if you can't prove like the impressiveness of this extracurricular by its impact, like you got a great medal, you went to all these amazing places, you could just say in other stuff. For example, you teach like you introduce people to debating club, you make this debating club, you like help people to understand more about debate, you coached people like from other parts. So I think it's totally fine. Yeah.
What about Olympiads?
Olympiads, informatics, I wasn't that good at Olympiads. I didn't really like wanted to compete with other people. So I was always doing my own personal projects. Like I was, sometimes I go to Olympiads preparations, sometimes I don't. I was busy with my own thing. So informatics wasn't competition. I didn't really do that well. And for English, I actually did pretty well. Let's say in regional, I got second place. At national, not that national, like Kazakh Prelim Olympiad, I got twice silver. Yeah. It's not impressive, but it's something, something to prove that you actually done something. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Congratulations, and I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Okay. Yulia Skachkova. Salim.
Oh yeah, hello. I wanted to ask you, what was your math score on SAT?
Okay, SAT. On the first try, I had 740 as my math score, and the second try I had 800, which is the full score.
Wow, that's impressive. Like, I want to ask, how did you cope with like this really tricky questions on math part? Because yeah, they are always different, and I'm really interested.
They're always they're 100% super, like a lot of tricky questions, like they specifically use these wordings, like use these advanced word to make you like an easy question, they made the easy question into a super hard question just by changing the words, and it's super confusing. I could totally understand, but I think the main thing is just basically doing a lot of repetition. For example, one test, I missed this tricky question. I'll like analyze it completely, like get like understand why I didn't, what was my thought process when I would like doing this test. I was like, did I think this part wrong, or should I think this way? So just trying to reverse engineer that problem that you did, and try to improve from that, basically.
Oh, okay, thank you. And my congratulations. Like, I have one more question. Like, how do you feel about going to US in like 2 months?
Okay, I'm kind of nervous, kind of happy, kind of just a mix of like emotions. I'm going to miss my parents, miss my hometown, but at the same time I was excited for my future and all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good luck. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. Adil Sidazumov. Salim.
Can you share your GitHub with your projects? GitHub.
My GitHub?
Yes.
Oh my God. I don't even use GitHub.
Seriously?
This is the yeah, this is the reason why I told you I don't like I never like share anything online. I'm not that good in like I'm not focused on informatics competitions or anything related to that matter. I was always doing my own projects with my own laptop. I don't share anything. I was super weird. I don't know. I just like that.
Okay. Can you name your projects and their main aid?
I did a phone application, I remember, for phone application that is that deletes like certain apps on your phone with like good UIs, and the main function was to delete apps on your phone. It was made for a purpose. The purpose I'm not going to tell, but it was a cool project. I had few people with me that is at the same cultural background as me, and we basically did it and made a huge thing out of it. And other projects I remember, let's say I did a few things for my school, like improve the systems, like ring system, like other stuff related to computer. Yeah.
Okay.
You're welcome. Okay, so no people. Mubarak, you still have question? No.
If there is a God, then my prayers have been answered. Anyways, I have a question about your GPA.
Okay.
Basically, GPA count. If you go to college, GPA counts for the last 3 years, aka 9th, 10th, and 11th grade, right? So middle school has nothing to do with it.
Actually, I am not sure. I think it's 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, the 4-year or 5-year. I really don't know.
Oh dear God.
Yeah, I'm so out of this college application, so I don't really sure about my answers. So yeah.
Dear God, if there is even one. All right, thanks.
Welcome. Yulia Skachkova. Remember?
Yeah, I have one more question. Like, did you mention any business startups in your application?
No, actually. For economics, I did IEO. Oh no, not IEO, like the national economics competition, and I got second place. So that's how I involved with it.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, I think there's no more questions, if I believe
I have
so.
one question.
Yeah. Mr.
Did you take like courses AP or something like that?
Yeah, people asked me previously. I never took any AP courses because they wasn't offered. Like I wasn't like didn't have the chance to take it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. They still have questions. Camila Kishkashbaeva.
Hello, Arys. Hello, everybody. I have a question about summer program. Sorry, I have just joined it, so maybe I missed some information. Like, did you participate in some like summer programs, and did they like make a sense or, yeah?
Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't think I. Yeah, I didn't do any summer programs, unfortunately. But if I were to like travel back in time, use a time traveler, I would definitely like punch myself to say like you should attend those summer programs. I never had, I didn't go online to search about. I didn't even know like there's something called summer programs like Yale Young Global Scholars, like Pioneer, like all of these stuff. I highly recommend you to do it because it's an impressive, well reputed like extracurricular activity, and it's super impressive. You should do it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. Yulia Skachkova, is it you have more question or you are?
Oh no, I just forgot to. Right.
Okay, so I think that is all the questions, guys. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Raushana Pai.
Yeah, sure. I think that there are no questions, and thank you a lot for answering all of them. And yeah, someone is asking to check the chat box, but I think you answered all the questions. So, and you promised to send some links
Yeah. I will send them right now
to the chat.
Also, can you type the name of books?
Name for books? Okay, I will. Wait. Sorry, I didn't check the chat box. It was blocking it. These are the resources basically for IELTS and SAT, and for the books for SAT, that's for Control T. There we go. Notes. I'm not sure about the Erica Meltzer. The name probably wasn't right. I forgot about it, but search online, you'll be able to find those books. Yeah.
Yeah, they're very popular.
Yeah, they're really popular, so people should be able to get them.
Okay, if there are no questions, thank you a lot for joining our session today. Arys, thank you a lot for this presentation. It was like really amazing. I made some screenshots and I hope that our students next year will do something similar. And yes, we're looking for more success stories. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, goodbye, guys. Hope you have a good application journey.
Thank you a lot.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a nice
Yeah,
day.
boy.